You've probably been told your whole life that to get top grades, you have to lock yourself away and study for hours and hours. But what if that's just flat out wrong? What if the real secret to getting straight A's isn't about studying more, but studying way, way smarter for just 2 focused hours a day? I mean, this just hits home, right? It perfectly captures that awful feeling of putting in all this effort, all these hours, and getting almost nothing back. But it also shows you that there's another way, a much, much better way. So, that's the big question. How on earth is that even possible? Well, it's not some kind of magic trick. It's about having a method. It's about trading in those frustrating, wasted hours for a powerful system that actually works with your brain. And today, we're going to break that system down step by step. All right, first things first, we have to tear down this myth that the more time you spend studying, the better your results will be. That marathon all-night study session, it's a classic student move, but honestly, it's one of the worst ways to learn. Let's just compare how these two approaches actually feel. On one side, you have the grind. Your brain is totally fried, you're reading the same sentence over and over and nothing's sinking in, and you just end up feeling stressed and burned out. But on the other side, with that focused approach, your brain is sharp. The information actually sticks, and you walk away with more free time and feeling like you're totally in control. It's a night and day difference. So how do we actually make that leap from grinding to being strategic? It all kicks off with a really important shift in your mindset. This is the moment you stop trying to just power through and start trying to outsmart the problem itself. And this quote just nails it. So many students fall into the trap of thinking, oh, I'm just not smart enough for this. But that's not the issue at all. The real problem is the strategy. See, your brain isn't built for endless, boring marathons. It thrives on short, intense bursts of focus, followed by rest. The goal is to lean into that, to work with your brain's natural rhythm. This needs to be your new mantra. Seriously. It's not about how many hours your butt is in the chair. It's about the quality of work you do in that time. 2 hours of deep, high-quality focus will always, always be better than 6 hours of being distracted and just kind of skimming. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. What does this 2-hour system actually look like in practice? Well, it's built on 2 main ideas: a clear structure for your time and a smart strategy for what you study. So this is the win. Instead of staring down a scary 2-hour block of time, you're just committing to 4 little 25-minute sprints. And those 5-minute breaks? They are absolutely crucial. They give your brain a chance to breathe and reset, which is what prevents that mental burnout that makes long study sessions so useless. This whole structure keeps you energized and motivated the entire time. Now for the what. This is where most people get it wrong. We love to review the stuff we already know because, it feels good. This rule forces you to do the exact opposite. You're spending half of your precious time tackling the stuff you find the hardest. Yeah, it's going to be tough, but this is where the real learning happens. You're not just patting yourself on the back, you're actively getting better. Having a great schedule is one thing, but what you actually do during those 25-minute sprints, well, that changes everything. It's time to ditch all those old, ineffective study habits we were all taught. This right here, this distinction is a game changer. On the left, you've got the passive stuff we think is studying, rereading notes, highlighting half the page, and just kind of hoping it all sinks in. It feels productive, but it's not. On the right, that's the real work. Quizzing yourself, making mind maps, trying to explain it out loud. These methods force your brain to actually wrestle with the information. And the king of all these active techniques is something called active recall. Think of it like this. Every time you close the book and try to pull a fact or a formula out of your own memory, you're doing a rep for your brain. You're making that mental connection stronger. Rereading your notes is like watching someone else lift weights. Active recall is you actually being in the gym, building that memory muscle. So you can have the perfect plan, you can have the best techniques, but none of it is going to matter if you can't beat the #1 enemy of every student out there: distraction. This is a skill you have to practice. Deep work is when you're completely in the zone, with zero part of your attention being pulled away by notifications or texts. In this crazy, noisy world we live in, the ability to do deep work is, no joke, a superpower. It's what separates the good students from the great ones. Just look at that number, 20 minutes. That is the insane cost of just checking one little text. A single interruption can completely destroy an entire 25-minute study session. This is proof that multitasking is a total myth. When you study, you're either all in or you're not really studying at all. So how do we protect our focus? Look, these rules are non-negotiable, and the biggest one is your phone. It can't just be on silent or face down. It has to be gone. Put it in another room, create a dedicated study spot, tell people not to bother you, and guard your attention like it's the most valuable thing you own. Because when it comes to your grades, it is. Okay, we've covered the system, the techniques, and the focus. Now for the final piece of the puzzle, how to make sure all this knowledge you're gaining actually stays in your brain for good, so you never ever have to cram for a test again. This is such a simple habit, but it is incredibly powerful. Every week, maybe on a Sunday, just take 20 minutes to quickly scan over your notes from the past week. You're not trying to relearn everything from scratch, you're just giving your brain a quick reminder of the main ideas. This one little habit builds that long-term memory and saves you from that horrible last-minute panic. And here's the little trick that might be the most effective one of all. At the end of your study block, just stand up and explain what you just learned out loud. To your wall, to your dog, it doesn't matter. The simple act of trying to teach it forces your brain to organize the information in a logical way, and it immediately shows you where the gaps in your own understanding are. This quote says it all, really. Teaching something is the ultimate test. If you can explain a complicated idea in simple terms, you've got it. You own it. But if you find yourself stumbling and saying, a lot, you know exactly what you need to go back and review. And that's really what this all comes down to. The whole point of studying isn't to suffer, it's to learn. And real, effective learning doesn't have to take over your entire life. When you have the right system in place, a clear structure, active techniques, and a fortress of focus, you can get more done in less time and actually have a life outside of school. So now the ball is in your court. You've got the blueprint. You don't have to change everything all at once. Just pick one thing. Are you going to try the 25-minute sprints tonight? Are you finally going to put your phone in another room? What's the one small change you're going to make starting today to study smarter, not harder?